Good morning. So we have been discussing about the social objectives of management. In our last session, we had discussed about the organizational objectives and some briefing I have already given about the social objectives. So social objectives are basically those moral duties and responsibilities which are required to be pursued towards a group of stakeholders or the interest groups who have a bearing with the organizational survival. They are the customers, employees, suppliers, investors, society, the community, and even the government or the environment, the ecological environment as well. So when the organization, being a social entity, performs its due duties and responsibilities which it is expected to perform towards this interest groups, we can consider this organization to be socially responsible organization because it is pursuing social objectives, it is discharging all its moral responsibilities, social responsibilities, and these are considered to be corporate social responsibilities, which are essential elements for gaining or for achieving organizational sustainability in the long run. So these all can help the organization to reach towards its long-term objectives, rather the vision of the organization. So since some idea we have already got about the social objectives, let's proceed towards the next segment, next part, that is, first of all, let's go through just have a look at this diagram. I think all have understood that what this diagram is trying to reflect on. The internal stakeholders are the employees, the managers, and the owners. Here, the owners are the people who are the real investors of money, who provides capital for operation in an organization. Managers, as we know, that they belong to the three major layers of the organizational structure, the top, middle, and the lower layer, who make the people work, get the work done, and help the organization to reach to its goal. And employees, the managers are also employees, and as a whole, the employees are the group of people who work for the organization, who earn their remuneration for delivering their service. And the external stakeholder, as I just mentioned about, they are the suppliers, the society, the government, creditors, shareholders, customers, etc. So what can be the responsibility of a business or objective of management towards the government? What government expect? Government expects the organization to follow the law and order of the land, to follow the basic norms and codes of organizational behavior, organizational operations, to provide employment opportunities to the society for its betterment, for the economic development, to ensure a sufficient flow of supply of goods to the economy in order to prevent inflation. Then of course, paying the taxes or the dues to the government on time. Okay, these are some of the objectives of management towards the government. Creditors are basically those who provide borrowed capital to an organization, like the bankers, the debenture holders. They provide long-term borrowed capital. Then for short-term borrowed capital also we have the commercial banks who are providing money on current account, etc. And then commercial paper, public deposits, whoever purchase the certificates, they all come under the short-term creditors. So the creditors expect the money to come back, money whatever they have invested to an organization, to come back to them on the due time, along with the interest for which they have provided the money. So these are some of the shareholders I already mentioned about. They are the investors. They expect the organization to utilize their fund, deploy the fund in proper channels or in proper investment options, so that the investment can fetch good return to them. And also they expect the organization to grow. So they are the real owners of the companies or the organization. So these are some of the external stakeholders and the internal stakeholders who are connected to the organizational performance and organizational well-being. So if the organization can perform its due duties towards all of these parties, all of these interest groups, then we can say the organization is a socially responsible organization, and making the organization socially responsible is actually the social responsibility or the social objectives of management. Then we come to the next segment, that is the personal objectives of management. As the name suggests, personal objectives are basically the individual objectives which are related to the employees of the organization. Employees' demands, their wishes, their aspirations, their expectations being an indispensable element of the organization. Whatever they expect, they want, if the organization is able to provide and satisfy their needs and wishes, then definitely they become satisfied, loyal, and devoted. Devoted manpower who are really the genuine resources for organization, and they lead the organization to the success. So they are the employees. So personal objectives of management actually deals with satisfying the needs of the employees. It's given, it intends to create a harmonious and congenial working environment having satisfactory and satisfied workforce. This particular two words, satisfactory and satisfied, these two are of immense importance. Please mark these two words. There are certain similarity in between, or connection in between these two words. Satisfactory means the employees should have the basic knowledge, skill, and abilities which can meet the demand of the job for which they have been taken to the organization, the job which have been allotted to them. So their skills should be, their ability should match with the job requirements, the job specification. So that is called satisfactory. The organization will be satisfied having this sort of people on in the system. And satisfied workforce deals with the satisfaction level of the employees. If the employees are happy being in the organization, they feel satisfied, or they enjoy working, being a part of the organization, then we can say they are the satisfied workforce. So satisfactory workforce is an essential element, because otherwise they will not match up with the job expectations and they will not be able to perform their due duties and responsibilities. And satisfied workforce at the same time is also equally important, because without being satisfied, the employees cannot develop the sense of loyalty, sense of belongingness, or kind of a sense of devotion towards the organization. So both are important in order to deliver a successful performance. So personal objectives includes meeting the financial needs through provision of competitive salaries and perks like incentives, fringe benefits, etc. Provision of proper leave facilities, healthy and hygienic work environment, provision of proper career development opportunities, scope of learning and personal growth through trainings, assignments, etc., etc. Like being an employee in an organization, what can be the expectation of a person? You think yourself to be a part of an organization, students, and then you can feel that whenever you are a part of an organization, what as an employee, what are the minimum expectations you can have? Apart from the salaries, of course, the hygienic factor to be in an organization, to be in a job. But apart from this factor, there are few other things which a person can expect, like the person can expect some kind of appreciation on good performance, some kind of encouragement to show and to deliver his or her creativity, abilities, then some kind of incentives on good performance. They can expect to get something more than what actually they get as a minimum salary. Then provision of proper leave facilities. Leaves are needed to fulfill your own personal tasks. People all need. So those provision of leave facilities, that should must have some kind of uniformity in the organization for all the workers working there, is important. Healthy and hygienic work environment, provision of proper hygienic toilet facilities, what pure drinking water facilities, all these things are needed. And of course, the provision of proper career development opportunities. People who are working in an organization, they expect to grow over the time. Growth everybody deserves, as well as they expect. So organization should provide the necessary scope for personal development, for career development, like some kind of training, some kind of workshops. At the moment, whatever training we have been going through with the help of this digital seminar, digital, learning system that Tejpur University has organized for us, and we are really obliged and grateful for providing such kind of opportunities to all of us. And so this actually helps us to, and such an immense response have been gathered because of that, because we all expect to grow over the time. We want to tap our feet according to the tune of the environmental needs. So that's why we all are here today. And so this kind of facilities should be provided to people who are also working in the organization, so that they can also grow over the time, they can learn new things, and as a professional, as a person, as if they can grow, they can improve on their work, their personality, and as a holistic development they can have in an organization. So all these things will bring job satisfaction, which is really essential, and people can remain motivated if they are satisfied, and motivated persons are always productive persons. So definitely, if people are productive, organization is the most beneficial entity in that regard. So this is how personal objectives fulfillment will help the organization. And personal go through trainings, assignments, etc. It also takes care of the social and safety needs of people, like the basic amenities, peer recognition, etc. So these all are the elements of personal objectives. Safety needs and social needs. Social needs, we mean basically people are not machines. Even if they are working in a formal atmosphere, in a formal system, uh, they need some kind of social longings with people, like some connections with peers and all, some kind of informal atmosphere, informal conversation, communication, which all can make them feel free to be in the workplace and enjoy their work even better. So such kind of facility should also be provided. So a congenial, harmonious, and a friendly work environment is always appreciable. Well, people should feel safe to work in the organization. Safety needs, basically, I can give an example, like whenever a person joins an organization, 1 or 2 years they have to go through as the period of probation, after which they are provided with the permanency certificate if they can cross through that probationary period successfully. So this kind of certificates, or this kind of appointments letter, permanency letter, appointment letter, this all can uh, uh, I mean infuse some kind of sense of satisfaction, some sense of security in the mind of the employee. And a secured people, the person who feels secured, can feel even better motivated, and it will help the people to contribute even better towards the organization. Whenever the fear of losing something is not there in mind, they can always feel free to work and contribute even better being in an organization. So these are the basic elements of personal objectives and social objectives. All are important, like rather the social development needs are also to be considered, which can be only achieved if the social and personal objectives are pursued with due diligence. So organization productivity and profitability is influenced by the fulfillment of these objectives. So this is what. Thank you so much.